Yes, hello everyone. My name is Jess, if you don't know me. I'm from the Vancouver Fellowship. I actually started my life in Australia, as you can tell by my accent probably, and so my parents heard the word and came along sometime in the late 60s, and you know, they had both come, particularly my mother had come from a very dysfunctional, violent home, and you know, there was, you know, not a lot of morals. You know, it was not a great situation, and you know, part of my testimony is I praise the Lord that my parents heard the word and were spirit filled and had the word guide them in how to be parents, how to be husband and wife. They were very unhappy when they came to the Lord. They were just going to repeat the issues that their parents had, and but yet the Lord set them on another path. And so I was a beneficiary of that, being that I was, you know, so young when they had, you know, came to the Lord. So our household was brought up on, well, what does the Bible say? And, you know, I remember even having, you know, prayer, having needs. I know one thing my mum said, there was a lot of things that it was out of her control. Even as a mother, you know, you want to fix everything and do everything. But yet we always relied on the power of the Lord to change its circumstance in our family. So we would always get on our knees and pray and commit things to the Lord, and I saw miracles happen in our household. So there did come a time where I wanted to have this one-on-one relationship with the Lord. I wanted to speak to him directly, and you know, I knew what the word said, and of course, you know, I was very fortunate. I was surrounded, you know, in a fellowship where I saw people receive the Spirit. I heard about miracles, I saw miracles. So I had a very, very fortunate upbringing in that sense. So I came to a point where I just, you know, opened my heart and I received the Spirit, and I knew that because I spoke in tongues. And you know, I was baptised after that. As I went on in my life, I had a deep love for the Lord. I was able to be instructed in that, but I also, in my teenage years, had a bit of an issue with really liking fun things, and the fun things that I liked wasn't the things that the Lord would be happy about. So I tried to juggle those. I tried to juggle being, you know, going to the meetings and being a part of the young people's, whilst also having fun, and then I felt that I could control that. Funny enough, you know, at the age of 14, 15, I thought I could control it. And, you know, I came to realise that that wasn't going to be the case. You know, my heart was hardening, because that's what sin does. And you can't control that as much as you think that you'd like to, and as much as you think you love the Lord. If you allow that sort of thing into your life, it does harden your heart. And I remember getting on my knees one night. I'd sort of come to the end of myself, realising the danger I was putting myself in. I called out to the Lord and I said, you know, I don't know exactly what it is to sort of follow you. I sort of didn't really understand it fully, but I just knew I was 100% in. This is the path I want to go down, and I want to give my life to the Lord and follow the Lord. And I remember particularly, you know, there was just these amazing things I always hear about when people, you know, come to the Lord from the world, you know, in their adult years, and then, you know, all these amazing things happened. You know, I remember in the space of a month, incredible things happened. There was actually went to a camp and I was bitten by a poisonous spider, because we live in Australia, and it was quite bad. I actually was struggling to breathe, and it had paralysed my back, and I was hunched over. By the time I got to my mum, she looked at my back and I had a welt, and my whole back was red. And I just couldn't straighten my back. I was struggling to breathe. So we went immediately to the elder, and we had prayer, and he quoted Mark 16 in the prayer, and I was instantly healed straight after that prayer. redness gone, or it was just everything was gone, all the symptoms. And, you know, that was an amazing testimony. I remember I went to school with other girls that were spirit-filled too, and they said, oh, we were just walked up to a group of girls and they were all talking about, oh, did you hear what happened about God healing, you know, Jess from that spider bite, you know. So, you know, I've just had amazing things where I feel like we actually had a house meeting the other day with a lady, and you know, I just said, you know, you take one step towards the Lord and He takes 50 to you. And that's what I did at that age. I remember just taking that step of making that decision in my heart, and I've not looked back since. And I've had lots of different things happen. You know, I was married, and being that, you know, married and walking on in the Lord together, that's been a real blessing. We've had lots of different things that have happened, but we've just looked to the Lord. That's been our anchor in our marriage, and the thing that, you know, has sort of it's guided us, you know, that the Spirit's guided us, and we've had children. Sister Ange was talking about, you know, I can understand her excitement with sometimes when you've had a lot of healing issues, which I have. I've had lots of things that have come upon me, you know, through genetics and different things. And yet, you know, you can talk about it. And sometimes when you lay out all the things that happen, people can kind of respond, oh, wow, that's tough and everything. But yet, you know, you talk about the horrible thing or the thing that's a bit not nice, and yet the blessing that I talk about is this much. So, you know, when Sister Ange, it's almost the excitement of, yeah, this was terrible, what happened, but look at the blessing and look at everything that's happened. And that's been the story of my life. You know, there's been a lot of challenges, but yet the Lord has come to that need with the scriptural blessing, with the family of God that I've been brought into that's helped, with, you know, healings being met, with, you know, just so many different things. So, you know, I'm so very grateful to be saved. It doesn't seem adequate enough to even say that, but I'm incredibly grateful. I'm very grateful for the family of God. I've been thinking of that chorus, if anyone wants to pick it, is that I love this family of God. I just absolutely love that chorus because, you know, the family of God is one who is spirit-filled and spirit-led, and we all walk together. And, you know, just, you know, this past year, I don't want to go over it, but I can't help it. That's been a massive miracle. It's been wonderful. And just to have that unity of the Spirit, you know, there's nothing like it. And, you know, I just really am thankful for my salvation.